Hey, I'm Jeff Reber with Pursuit Real Estate, joined today by both our property manager, Maddie Miller, but more importantly, Pat Jacobs with Shamrock Property Maintenance, who has been a real strategic relationship for us on the property management side. But I'm also going to share why, if you're watching this and you own a home and you're in Northeast Florida somewhere, this is going to be a good one for you to listen to as well. So, Pat, tell us a little bit about the company, about how you got into this business, and then, maybe brief what exactly you guys do.
Sure. And thanks, Maddie and Jeff, for having us on here today. I really appreciate it, and looking forward to talking with you guys today. So Shamrock Property Maintenance was founded in 2006. We saw a need for property maintenance and property management services due to the large amount of foreclosures that were happening in our state. We were approached to start doing foreclosure redemption services in the city of Memphis, and then it expanded into Nashville, and then we wound up taking over a quarter of the state of Mississippi, and we're performing those services up until 2017. We did anything from just a simple debris removal and block changes to winterizations on homes, to where we started doing full-blown rehabs on going in and rebuilding the properties so that they could be marketed and sold. A lot of those properties that we worked on have became single-family rentals over the years, and it's kind of interesting that when we're doing maintenance services, that you go back in the houses that you have serviced. Basically, you can call it from cradle to grave, so to speak. So we started doing that, and in 2017, while in Nashville, I was at a property, as a matter of fact, and looking at it for a rehab. We had some folks come up to us and approached me and said, "Are you with Shamrock?" And I said, "Yes." And they said, "Well, we've been wanting you to do maintenance services on our properties and just tried to figure out how we could get a hold of you." And the SFR single family rental segment of our business was born right there in the front yard of a house in Nashville. And that was in 2017. 2 months later, we said, we're not doing any more foreclosure stuff. I mean, we literally, our clients, we dissolved inventory that we had and that we were taking care of and managing for them. We walked away from that industry in very good hands. We did it the proper way, is what I'm trying to say, given plenty of notice. And then we were off to the races with doing maintenance services. And currently now we do maintenance services in 4 states, the states of Mississippi, Tennessee, Georgia, and Florida. And Florida is a huge part of our business. We love being in Florida. And now we're also offering direct to consumer. So if you have a homeowner that's in your area that doesn't necessarily know who can do some maintenance services for them, they can turn to us and we'll be happy to take care of that for them.
And so I was going to have actually Maddie speak to that for a minute. So we're using your services on the property management side of our business. And one of the things that I loved when we made the decision to use y'all is that there was a lot of transparency around what things cost. And so Matt, speak to A, how we're using them, B, what it looks like for us to make a decision on getting work done and just having that clarity on what it's going to cost, how long it's going to take, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep. So the first thing, and again, I should say thanks for Patrick for jumping on as well and going through this and making all this happen. They've been a great partner for us since we've been doing business for quite a few months, maybe even close to a year now. I'm not really sure when that time is, but time flies when you're having fun. But basically the biggest thing was when we were approached and I kind of made aware of what Shamrock was doing here locally and throughout the state was, hey, they're strictly focusing on management for property managers, and here's our transparent pricing. The first thing I asked them was a pricing sheet, and they sent over, hey, here's the probably 100 most common things that we deal with on a regular basis for property.
It was a long list.
It was rather extensive, and I was impressed
getting this together.
Yeah, I was impressed with the amount of things that were on that list, and I was like, oh geez, okay, cool. And I started looking through those pricings, and I'm like, okay, that's actually pretty affordable, because I know as a property manager what we pay for to paint a room, to change out some carpet, to
replace a toilet,
replace the sink, toilet, just your standard repairs. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I figured out how much stuff they actually did, and what different types of work they do, whether it's plumbing, light electrical, just cleaning up, blowing off roofs, doing this. I mean, everything you can possibly think of that, handles maintenance wise, they have pretty much been able to handle. So it was a really easy relationship with us as far as saying, hey, listen, from a tenant turn perspective, there's multiple. When I say tenant turns for people out there, I'm talking a tenant moves out. We need to refresh the property to get somebody back in there and get it back on the market. To be able to send one contractor over there, i.e. Shamrock Property Services, or maintenance, I think, right? We already established that. Shamrock I just say Shamrock, so I apologize. That's the only thing that sticks with me as a Notre Dame fan. So, but anyway, so I say, hey, send Shamrock over there. Hey, guys, go hit up this one. And the best part about what they do, especially if you're a homeowner that, either is across the country, across the world, wherever, they document everything with photos a ton. So there's, 40, 50, 60 photos if we're doing work of, said bathroom or whatever it is. They document a ton. They're very transparent. Their pricing is great. And they're able to help us out a lot with doing things, as opposed to me calling 4 different contractors to say, hey, send the electrician out there to swap out this, send the painter out there to do that, also grab the plumber, and also I got to call my flooring guy. It saves us a lot of time in that regard.
It's like having a general contractor run the job for you without having to pay the override for a general contractor. So, and I know how we function as a property management company and why we like using you guys so much, Pat. And that is, we're software and systems based for everything we do. How would a direct consumer, like just homeowner, like how would that function with them? I'm curious.
Oh, it's a lot of the same process, right? So, a direct consumer calls you, and here's another thing too. It's just not for homeowners. We also do this for VRBO and Airbnb customers too.
Okay.
Vacation rentals and things like that, especially in the Florida market. There's a lot of that, so we can handle vacation rentals type stuff too. So basically here it is that I'm going to give you an idea of what we're doing for a gentleman that lives in Korea. We get this phone call a couple of months ago, and he says, hey, I've heard a lot of really good things with you guys, and I use Property Meld, and I was looking at it, and I would like to start sending you guys work, but I'm going to send it to you email. So this customer lives in a different country halfway around the world, sends us an email and says, I need you to go to 2025 Elm Street. I got a water heater issue. We go out there, we diagnose it, we send the pictures, we send the information, everything to them. And then they approve the quote. We go back out, or we do it the same day if they give us enough of an NTE. A direct consumer would be very similar to that. They don't have to live in the area to be able to send us the information, to be able to access the property. But if they do, we call them, we schedule an appointment, we give them typically a 2 to 4 hour window. It just depends on what our day is looking like that day. We meet them at the property. We try to schedule around them. And then we go in and take photographs. If it's a simple fix, we see if we can do it then. And then we can actually invoice them and everything right on site. So it can be a very, very seamless process, or they could just call in here and talk to Michael, who is our chief financial officer, and he could take payment over the phone. It's that simple.
Cool. Hold on. We missed this, and Matt mentioned it briefly, but where does the Shamrock come from in the name?
Oh, so my dad, my dad's originally from Ireland and lived there till he was 10 years old. And his mom's first cousin, my grandfather, adopted him, and they moved to Chicago. He moved to Chicago, and we lived in the Chicagoland area till I was 23, and then moved to Tennessee when I was 27. My mom is originally from East Tennessee, and found out just a few years ago through Ancestry.com that she has a lot of Irish in her too. So that's where the Shamrock comes from, but it also comes from maybe a little bit of a Notre Dame fan too. And
there it was.
We like to have some fun with that too.
There we go. No, good stuff.
A Notre Dame team that's going to be in the playoffs here soon too.
Yes, they are.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
So
I'm not going to get into football college playoff picture as a Florida fan right now.
You should not.
One can dream. 2026.
Yeah, but you guys are coming back. I mean, terrible start to the season. Looks a whole lot better now.
That's exactly right. It's all about what have you done for me lately. Good look good
Yep.
this weekend. Anyways, so and that is what we really like about you guys. In a probably missing component with a lot of subcontractor types that we have worked with is that like the documentation, the organization, the systems and processes, and then sort of the transparency is just not there. And I think that's what we've liked most about working with y'all is that all of that exists. Matt, what were you going to say?
I was going to say just in general, I think not even on the property management side, but also probably on the contractor side, direct to consumer. I think the number one thing you hear about just complaint wise for everybody is communication and organization. And that, if you can do those two things well and offer a very good service for what people are needing, you're going to be fine. And that's the biggest thing that I've appreciated about you guys is it's been so seamless and simple to if my owner calls me and says, hey, well, there's this bill, what do they do? Well, I can instantly share those photos and say, okay, here it is.
Here's the description. Here's the photos. Here's the before.
Here's the documentation. Here's the before. Here's the after. So to be able to do that and show people, and like you said, the gentleman in Korea that you were working with, to be able to show that, hey, this is getting done and here's the proof that it's done and he doesn't have to worry about it. It's the peace of mind that you're giving people and you're doing quality work at the same time. So it's like, hey, we're proving it. Plus we're doing the work is a super just really easy thing for us to do. And
so let's move toward the finish line here. And so Pat, a couple things. One, anything that we missed, and then two, if someone watching this wants to get a hold of you guys for work to be done at their house, what's the best way to contact you? What are the alternate ways to contact you all? Fire away on that.
Sure. So I wanted to touch on one thing before we got off here today, guys, and I wanted to talk about our pricing structure, right? So we noticed a need, and you were talking about communication. I mean, literally, I could go on for a long time about this. I'm going to try and sum this up in just a couple of minutes. I firmly believe that any type of problems that come up in life can be fixed through communication. So our whole entire team, and Matt, I really appreciate you saying that, and Jeff too, about our communication. Guys, we work on that extremely hard. We're not a big call center, and as we're growing, we're expanding. We've been approached to expand into a few more states, and we're going to. And through that, though, I've told my whole entire team, we're going to stay true to who we are, right? We're going to stay true to what we're doing as a company. And as long as I'm breathing, we're going to do that. And one of the things that we noticed is that there's not a transparency on price of things, right? Mm-hmm. And then, I just had a conversation with somebody the other day. I had sent some guys out. Next thing I know, because of the hurricanes that happened in Florida, prices have went through the roof. All this is happening. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. We're not here. And this is the best way to sum it up is that I don't think you're going to make a career out of one job. We're not looking at one project. That's not what we're wanting to do. We're wanting to build partnerships. We're wanting to be the person that you feel good about calling to say, hey, we need to get some services done. Now, am I going to tell you that every single time, 100% of the time that Shamrock is, oh man, we just kill it every time? No, I would be a fool to tell you that. We're going to make mistakes, but I will also tell you that we're going to be the first people to stand up and say, hey, we made that mistake and we're going to fix it. I also believe that it's how you react to what happened. It's not what happened, right? So if I react to that well and take care of that situation for you in the best manner. So we have a comprehensive list. You said earlier about 100, Matt, and I actually that made me crack a smile. At 575.
I knew it was longer than 100 for the record.
It was longer than 100. I didn't want to get into it.
It is. There is a lot of pricing in there. There truly is. But we did that because not everything can be comprehensive either, right? We cannot be it's not a complete list, but it is a lot of what is out there. Mm-hmm. And it's fluid, right? We're constantly looking at it and constantly having to make changes to it, but we're trying to be as fair as we possibly can. So how can you get a hold of us? There is a few ways that you can. First of all, you can go to Google and you can search us out, Shamrock Property Maintenance, and you can put Jacksonville or Northeast Florida, and we're going to pop up. We also have an 800 number, and that 800 number is 1-800-403-7713. And then we also have to where you can just go directly to our website, and our website is www.shamrockpropertymaintenancellc.com. And you can go there. There is a contact us page. Also, if you happen to be a contracting pro that is in the market and happen to hear this, we are always looking to add more pros to our team, and we would love to talk to you about that, as well as any of the vacation rental owners out there, homeowners, or property managers that might hear about this too.
That's great. Matt, I'll let you give your sign off first, and then I'll sign off fully and completely for us.
Well, I will just give my phone number. My name's right behind me. And if you are listening to this, you're a property owner in the North Florida area that's got rental properties that needs help, whether it's from a maintenance perspective, from a management perspective. I think what we built here, not only with Shamrock, but what we've done at Pursuit Real Estate is going to help a lot of people in the Northeast area as we keep growing here at Pursuit.
And you can find out more about that at pursuitpropertymanagement.com for Matt, or generally real estate if you're selling or buying something, pursuitrealestate.com. And you can text or call me. We'll pop it up on the screen though, 904-405-1995. Pat, thanks again. Maddie, again, thank you. Everybody have a good week.
Thank you, guys.
Take care, guys.